back to my channel. Welcome to my August reset. I am so happy to be back doing these reset videos. I know I just skipped 1 month. I just skipped July's, but I missed this. I love these. Basically, at the end of June, I was moving. Things were crazy. Lots happening. So I just did not have the bandwidth to do a reset. So we skipped July's reset, but we're back for August. July's been a lot of change, which I'll get into, my little reflection, life update, all of that. But I was just talking to my brother the other day how when I was in school, I used to despise August. Not despise, but it was like one of my least favorite months of the year, August and January, because of school. Like I would go back to school actually in July because I went to year-round school, but that's another take altogether. And now August and January are like two of my favorite months. So it's crazy once you graduate from high school and college, how much better life gets with your months of the year. Anyway, little rant at the beginning, all to say that I love August. Taylor Swift's song too helps as well because that's always been one of my favorites from her. And I think it's gonna be a good month. So welcome to my reset. If you've never watched one of my reset videos, I share a little reflection. We set some new goals. We go over past goals. I go over my monthly budget. So reflecting on my expenses and spending from the past month, setting a new budget for the new month. And then we always have like a fun little middle segment. In today's video, I make a little banana syrup. I'm gonna show you how I did that. And then I do a content corner at the end where I just get to sit and yap about movies, shows, and books that I'm enjoying. This is my new temporary setup at my parents' house. I kind of like it. I think it's cute. Let me know your thoughts. But this may change because we may be moving in August. So yeah, my life is just kind of crazy right now. But let's just go ahead and get into all that, shall we? So in these reset videos, I always do a little reflection using my daily planner. If you're looking for a new planner for the school year, for fall, this is it. We only have a few more units in this color, the coffee color, but this is the daily planner that I designed and create, and it's 6 months long, so perfect to grab now to have for the rest of the year. There's monthly reflection pages, which I'm going to put up on the screen. There's monthly goal setting, and then it's a daily planner, so you plan every day on one page, super easy. All right, so first off with our monthly reflection of July, some core memories. So obviously moving out of Nashville, like July has just been a blur because I moved home from Nashville and I've honestly felt really grounded here. Like I feel really happy here. I hope you guys could see that from maybe like my week in the life or vlogs. I'm calling it soft girl summer because just like slow down pace. I'm still hustling, I'm still working, I'm doing my real estate, but overall I get to just be with family all the time, which really means so much to me. 4th of July was fun with our friends, and then we also went to the beach for a short amount of time just for my brother's birthday. Like I went for kind of a long weekend, and that was a really great spontaneous trip that I don't want to cry, but looking back on, I'm really glad we went to, because a sad memory from this month is our dog Bogey passing away. I know I just cried in my last week in the life when I told you guys that was a day after it happened. It's only been a few days, so I'm trying to hold myself together. Yeah, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but our black lab of 8 years passed away unexpectedly. It just makes me happy though that I was able to spend that time with him and be home the past few weeks and spend his last few weeks with him. And then we took him to the beach with us, and so we didn't know, here I go, we didn't know that was going to be his last beach trip, but it was a sad memory now, but still a good memory. And like I said, I'm just really thankful to be surrounded by family during this time too, so I'm gonna try not to cry. But other things that have made July crazy is we're selling this house. I'm selling this house for my parents, and we've had showings, and I'm just learning so much about real estate. I'm going to more open houses with my mentor. I'm going to classes and trainings and learning so much about real estate, and I'm really enjoying it, guys. I am really enjoying this job so far, and so maybe I'll continue it even after this house is sold. We're getting ready to kind of move again, hopefully soon, but it's just been an emotional month. But like I said, I do feel really grounded here, and I'm happy that I made the move out of Nashville. It just feels like it was the right thing. This month's wins, honestly, like showing this house, doing so much with real estate. People are loving my content on real estate on TikTok and stuff, so I just feel really like centered with that. To improve next month, I want to get my morning routine really scheduled perfect, and I'm doing a video recently, maybe up before this or right after this, of resetting up my like countryside morning routine, because I want to take a little bit more time in the morning to like have a a slow start, not really like a weekend morning routine, but just like have good habits in place where I can look out and sit on the front porch and drink my coffee and go feed the chicken and like go down to the barn and work out or go for a long walk in the neighborhood or something. Like I just want to have a little more peaceful moments in my morning routine rather than like waking up and getting to work. So, okay, life balance scale. Really fun to fill out. A great way to do a little check-in every month on like how you're balancing your life. And it's okay, not everything's going to be full of fives, but it can show you places that you may want to improve or cut back on, all of that. So for work, I'm giving myself a 5 out of 5. I have somehow managed to keep up with my part-time job doing 20 hours a week for Be Amazing, YouTube. I've had some amazing sponsorships. That's actually a win for this month. I got to work with Microsoft 365 on 3 videos, which you guys may have seen. They're not all up yet, they're coming soon, but that was an awesome sponsorship that I'm really proud of myself for. So that was a win. And then I've also been learning so much of a new career in real estate. So I'm really proud of myself work-wise this month. So that's 5 out of 5. Personal, I'm giving myself a 5 out of 5 just with the emotions of everything and being with my family, a lot of personal work that I've been, you know, working through these emotions and stuff, and it's all good to like feel everything. Wellness, I'm giving myself a 3 because the start of the month, I was like, June, I was kind of off my wellness game. I was just moving, seeing friends, no big deal. And midway through July, I've been back on my like regular 10K steps a day, eating high protein, all of that. So it feels good to be getting back in the groove there. Social, I'm gonna give myself a 3. Definitely know my social life is gonna be way less here than when it was in Nashville, but we're still making time to see friends here. So I'm not like at a 1, you know, I feel like very well balanced socially, work, family, all of that. Finances, let's see, I'm gonna give myself a 2 because the bank account's looking a little low, but I know it's about to jump back up. So we'll go to that in my budget with me. I just had some like last minute moving expenses and things that, and some like car stuff and health things that cost money that I wasn't expecting. So not the best month for finances, but that's okay. I think August is gonna be better. And then lastly, hobbies, I'm gonna give myself a 2 as well. I did get to golf with my family while we were at the beach, but I think other than that, and like I haven't been able to read as much as I wanted to. I've been trying to get into some workout classes here, so I've been doing that. I've been trying to find new workout places, but overall I just feel like I've been working and spending time with family. So those were my 2 priorities when I moved home, and I have been prioritizing them for sure. Okay, since I didn't do a July reset and so much was just happening end of June, I didn't really set goals for July. Like I knew in my head I wanted to move, I wanted to start showing houses, I wanted to start doing more real estate stuff. So I feel pretty good about like where I'm at with my goals, but I do want to set more concrete goals for August. So let's do that. My first goal is actually for Dream Daily, my small business. We're working on our 2026 calendars. You guys loved the super large wall calendars we did last year that actually my mom designed. It was her product. So I need to start working with mom again on getting our 2026 version started so we can get those hopefully by October. Another goal is to sell this house or to sell a house, whether I get a new listing or this house. That is a big goal for the year for me. So if it can happen in August, it'll be very exciting. My third goal, not as fun, but I need to catch up on my bookkeeping from this year. This year has been crazy busy and I have fallen behind in the bookkeeping department. So I know my April self of next year when it becomes tax season again will thank me if I get up to date on my bookkeeping. For mini goals, like I said, want to implement a new morning routine, new healthy rhythms, get back into a consistent workout schedule, find some classes that I like, just feel good wellness wise, living here now. And I want to take off time for work at the end of the month. We're going back to the beach with some friends. We're going to the beach towards the end of the month for a good chunk of time, and I want to be able to like actually take time off work. That's usually one of the weeks of the year that I'm like actually taking off as much as I can. So I want to make sure I can do that and get set up for that. My other goal is to post daily to my personal TikTok, even if I can do like 5 times a week to my personal TikTok, making it mostly real estate focused. That is where I'm putting a lot of real estate content because people are loving it there. I'm posting a lot of it also on Instagram, but not every video on Instagram. So I want like house tours, open houses, real estate tips, details on like how I got my license, all of that. Head over Miss Hannah Ashton on TikTok. And then as you guys know, in the planner, I break this down into projects and habits. So like a project would be selling this house. That's a big project. A habit would be posting every day on my TikTok. So that is how I break down my goals, kind of to help me figure out how to actually achieve them. And the action steps for each is I say, is it a project goal? Is it a habit goal? And where do I need to go with each? We also got to do our monthly budget with me. I've started putting it in this one video to kind of help run things along. And then we'll get to our content corner at the end. All right, the next segment of this reset is my budget with me. So let's pull up my July spending, go over all the expenses, and we're gonna take a little bit of time to set a new budget for August. And in case you're wondering, I track all of my spending through my credit card. So I use a Chase Sapphire Preferred credit card. I've had it for 3 years now. Yeah, 3 years in August, and I really love it. It also keeps track of spending categories, so it makes this very easy to do. It doesn't take me hours to like go through each transaction and categorize it. I just look at my spending categories in my app, transfer it to here, and that's it. Okay, so let's look at my spending for July. I spent $67 on gas, which was pretty average. I usually spend like $60 to $70 a month. Lyft and Uber, I actually spent, this was wrong, I spent $0. I also didn't calculate coffee separately this month from my eating out like I normally do. I just didn't take the time to like go in and like subtract the coffee amounts. So this I'm going to put a 0, even though I did buy coffee out this month. It's just in this eating out category, which is in Nashville. I was spending around $250. I did have some meals that I was like with friends and like bought my mom and brother a meal for helping me move. So this came out to still about the same, $257. This is where we see the first biggest dip in my spending. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to be living at home and eating the groceries that my family buys. So I'm not saying this is going to be it every month, but I used to spend like $250 to $300 a month in groceries just for myself. This month I only spent $78, just like a few little things that I bought for myself here and there. Entertainment, I budget usually $50. I spent 0. Beauty, I bought a Pilates class and got my eyebrows done, so that came to $53 for both. Shopping, I did go over. I was buying some different things on Amazon for my move and a few like little accessories, I want to say. In my new, did I have a new lead? No, I didn't have a new lead this month, but shopping was a total of $370, which is higher than I normally like to spend, but because I have a little bit more disposable income, now that I have less bills, I'm not going to be too mad at myself about that. It was my brother's birthday, so I spent $50 on a gift. Spruce, it was his birthday too, so I spent a little bit more on some things for him. Total came to $150 for him. Now here is where I want to talk about my sinking funds. So back in January, I decided to set up a high yield savings account with SoFi. And in that high yield savings, I have a few different accounts that I'm putting money in monthly. I have all my taxes, which I have to keep track of and put that money separate for when tax season comes around for next year. I have a gift sinking fund, which I'm putting $50 towards a month for Christmas gifts. So actually, like for this gift budget, I need to add $50 to that. So I really spent $100 on gifts because it automatically transfers over. And then I have a travel sinking fund, which I think I add $150 to a month. And this was just to build up kind of a cushion of money where if like my friends wanted to take a last minute trip, or like if me and my friends had talked about going to Disney in December, just like little things like that, I have this sinking fund ready. And as of now, halfway through the year, because I've put $150 towards it for the past 6-7 months, I had $900 in it, which is super great. And that's accumulating higher interest paid to me as well, because it's in a high interest savings, because it's in a high yield savings account. So this is the perfect opportunity for me to take some money out from this sinking fund and put it towards a trip. So we're going on a little girls Smoky Mountain weekend, which is perfect for me because now I live near the Smoky Mountains, but I have some friends coming from Nashville next weekend and we're going to go for my friend Nicole's 25th birthday. So we are doing this trip pretty well on a budget. We're splitting the hotel room. It's going to be about $300. It was like maybe $250 each, but I transferred over $300 from that travel sinking fund to my checking. So it's not like a brand new $300 transaction coming out of my account. I'm taking money I had already set aside and saved for this trip. So I'm really happy to put my sinking funds to use right now. And like I said, I'll be using that gifting one come Christmas. It is going to be so nice to have money set aside for those things that normally when they come up, you're like, oh, can I swing it this month? But because I had this all planned out, I was like, yes, I can go on a little cabin trip and have some money to spend on food, and we're gonna do Dollywood and all of that. It's actually not a cabin trip because we're staying in a hotel, but cabin-ish vibes. My other, I usually budget $50. I had to take my car to the car dealership, and I didn't get it fixed. I just got an oil change and I got it looked at, and that was about $300. Isn't that insane? But if I do end up getting my car fixed, it's not vital, I don't think, it'll be $2,000. So I was like, okay, I am not spending $2,000 on my car right now. Sorry. Since it's not vital, we're gonna wait. Anyway, let's go over to bills. I normally don't spend too much time in this bill section because it doesn't change, but in July was my last month paying internet, electricity, and water, which is really exciting. And then most rent too. Yeah, rent as well. So rent, you may be like, why is it still $520? So obviously I was paying about $1,500. It came down to $520 because we had some damages in the apartment that were about $300. And then I had to like prorate my rent for the few days that I was in that apartment, like 3 days. $520, but still a third of the price that I normally pay in rent. So I'm really excited for August, which we're gonna set up that budget now. Okay, the last place I wanna look is my debt payment tracker. So if you guys watched my debt payoff video, if you haven't watched it yet, highly recommend, go check it out. And it actually told me I was putting more money towards my car payments, but now I'm going to change that where I'm only putting the minimum payment here, and I'm putting, oh, what was it? Oh, it's over here. And I need to be putting $492 towards my student loan payment to pay that off. August is gonna be the first month that this goes into play, but I'm just gonna put it in here now. And I'm really excited to try this new debt payoffs plan. If you want more details on how I figured this out, definitely go check out that video. For August, and we're gonna fly through this and just set some expected spendings. Let me delete all this actual. And here we are. Okay, gas, I'm going to keep around $50. Lyft and Uber, I am taking a quick trip to Nashville this month in August, so I'm gonna move that down to 25. Coffee, I feel like 30, and maybe we'll do $40 for coffee because I'm gonna be spending a lot less money eating out. Again, I am going to Nashville and a little girls cabin weekend, so I'm still gonna be spending some money, but I'm gonna say $150. Groceries, I'm gonna move down to $75. I feel like that was good from last month. Entertainment, I am going to do $100 just because, again, not sure what I'm getting up to on those 2 weekends I won't be home. I will also actually be at the beach at the end of the month, so we just have lots of fun things coming up, but I don't really know exact numbers of like how much I'll spend on entertainment and stuff. Beauty, I kind of want to start getting my nails done again, guys. It's been over a year of me not getting my nails done, and I've really loved this previous year. Right now, this is just normal pink nail polish on, but normally they're completely bare, and I've really loved not having to pay for my nails, feeling really comfortable with natural nails, but I'm just like, you know what? I kind of want to treat myself a little bit since I have the extra money right now to just be getting basics. Like, I'm not going to be getting dip, I'm not going to be getting acrylics. I just want to get like gel short nails. So I think I'm gonna add that in. So I'll say $150 total. That'll be like for eyebrows and nails. Shopping / personal, I'm gonna bump up to $300. Gifts, I'm gonna move down to $50 just for my fund. Spruce is good around $100. Travel, my sinking fund, $150. And for other, we'll put $100 in case something comes up there. So my new budget, oh, and then we go over to rent, $0. Internet, $0. The guys, this feels so good. Feels so good to delete these expenses. I'm sorry to anyone. $0. I'm sorry to anyone who doesn't live at home right now. Okay. So my total expected spending is about $1,300. My total bills being like under $100, guys. Bless. I still wanted to share this with you guys because maybe you're in a similar position where you're living at home to save money and you're putting that money towards good things. Like, I'm putting it towards my debt. I'm putting it towards a bigger savings for a bigger purchase next year or later this year. And so, yeah, if you're in a similar boat, I hope this is helpful to see. And yeah, come back for my September reset to see how we did and how my first full month, like living at home, no rent, how my finances are looking after that. Alright, I got my banana coffee. I don't know what it is. I've just been obsessed with banana. I actually got into it like 2 years ago because there was a banana Foster latte at the coffee shop at the beach we always go to. So to me, it just screams summer, reminds me of the beach. And I am so excited to do a content corner because, as I said at the beginning, I did not do a June reset. So I have a lot of content to catch you guys up on. First, we're gonna do TV and movie recap. I actually haven't been to the movie theaters. I think we're actually going today to see one of the new movies. There's so many good ones out. I love an action and adventure movie, so I will be seeing Jurassic World, Superman, and probably Fantastic Four, if not in theaters. All those, I will be watching them at home. Excited to see that, but I don't have any movie updates. For TV shows though, I did get sucked into Love Island. I'm not gonna talk about it a lot because it's been over for quite a few weeks now, but this was only my second season ever watching Love Island. I watched the UK season 2 summers ago, and it's just so much content. But honestly, it was nice to have something to like talk to other people about. And with my job being TikTok for my part-time job, like knowing the references to make jokes on TikTok and to comment back to people was like helpful. So partially I was telling myself I was watching it for work purposes, but also it's just like crazy TV and entertainment. It's definitely not my favorite reality TV show in the world. You guys know I'm more of a Survivor girl, but it was fun to watch, and I just loved like listening to the podcasts and recaps and things of people. I feel like I wasn't too sucked in, but I was just sucked in enough to like know what was going on. I just love Amaya, and I'm so happy that she won, so I can't wait to keep following her. And I also really like following Iris. Now I feel like we've transitioned to Summer I Turned Pretty, which I loved the first season of Summer I Turned Pretty. It's actually filmed where my family goes to the beach, so I love the vibes and it's perfect. But the second season just did not hit the same 2 years ago. This season, I've only seen the first 2 episodes so far, so I'm a little behind. I need to catch up, but so far it's okay. I need them to get to Cousins though. Right now she's still in college. I need them to get to the beach, and then I'll be able to tell if I like this season or not. Sorry if you don't agree, but we are Conrad girlies here. Okay, I do have quite a few books to recap. This is my currently reading. My reading goal for the past year has been 50 books. I haven't hit it yet, and I'm probably not gonna hit it this year because I'm only at 15 books. This year has just not been a reading year for me. I've been very, very busy, so like no extra free time to read. I've just been reading a little bit at night. And yeah, I'm hoping that now that I'm like living out in the country, things are about to slow down a little bit maybe with work. I'm hoping that I can have a little more time to read, but lately I've just been like exhausted at the end of the day, and I read like 2 chapters and then I'm going to bed. Maybe I can catch up, I doubt it, but I'm fine with, you know, not hitting my reading goal. I'm just trying to read good books, and what I'm proud of myself is this year I've read a lot of books that are outside my comfort zone, so I'm going to talk about that. Different genres, I think that's really good to try something new. Okay, if you don't know, I am a romance and romantic-y type girl, but one of the books that I read in June was The Wedding People. I read this on my Kindle, and this is more like a fictional novel. It has a hint of romance, but it's definitely deeper meaning, I will give the premise. The premise is a little dark, but it's actually a very happy book, which I really appreciate. I read the sample from Amazon like quite a few months ago when the book first came out, and I was like, I don't know, this book may be too sad for me, because the premise is really unique, where it's about this woman who just got divorced and she's very depressed, and she goes away to this beautiful hotel that she always wanted to stay at to, let's just say, not come back from this hotel. I don't want to say any trigger words on here and for my YouTube like content, but everyone else staying at this hotel is part of a wedding, so it's called The Wedding People, and she gets swept up into the wedding weekend, and it becomes a really great story about like self-discovery, dealing with mental health, boundaries with people in your life, meeting new people, and just like she kind of finds the will to live again through this long wedding week. I just got chills thinking about it because it really was a powerful book. And like I said, the beginning's a little dark. I didn't know if it was going to be for me. It's sad. But throughout the story, it's a really uplifting female self-discovery book. So I rated it 4 out of 5 stars, maybe even 4.5. It's a little bit more like adult book, grown-up book. You know, I felt very grown-up reading it. Great writing. The next book is very much out of my comfort zone. It was The Last Mrs. Parrish, which is a thriller. And I've only read one other thriller, The Housemaid. These books are similar, but I actually think I preferred this book more than The Housemaid. Basically, this young woman, Amber, sneaks her way into this very wealthy family, and she's like a con artist and she's working her way into the family. She wants to live the luxurious life and she's like conning this wealthy couple and their kids, and it's very interesting. If you've read The Housemaid, it's similar but different enough where I would also recommend it. And I think I rated this, yeah, 4 stars because I enjoyed it. Thriller is definitely not my favorite genre, but I'm glad I threw one in to again switch it up, try something new. Okay, I think I may have talked about this in my last reset. I finally finished Onyx Storm though in June. I think I talked about my thoughts on it in the last reset because I was so over that book. Guys, I don't know if I'm gonna finish Fourth Wing series. I don't know if I could read any more Fourth Wing books after Onyx Storm, but I was glad to be done with it because I started that book in like January, so yeah. And then I was needing just something light and happy and easy to read, and so I went back to one of my favorite reads from last year, one of my favorite Elsie Silver books, which is Hopeless. So this is part of her Chestnut Springs Cowboy Rancher romance series. The main guy in this book is a veteran though. He was in the military and a military hero. About Bo Eaton. He is, I think, the oldest brother in the Chestnut Springs group, and I rated this book 5 stars. I read it last June and I was like, you know what, I just need a cute little cowboy romance, cowboy-ish romance. This one's a little bit different, but it takes place in a small town, and this one was just as good as I remembered it. So we did a little reread and I read all of those on my Kindle, but I do have 2 physical books that I'm reading right now that I want to talk about because they're really great summer reads, and look how gorgeous these covers are. I think these are the prettiest book covers I've ever seen. Carly Fortune's books are gorgeous covers. This might be my favorite. I just love the bright cobalt blue and then the yellow text. I've seen some books have like a pink text, but the yellow, so good. Like every time I see it next to my bed, it gets me so excited because it's just beautiful. And then this book, I think I may have talked about in a previous video, but I finally started it. It's called The Sirens. This is an interesting book. It's a little in my comfort zone, a little out of my comfort zone. So it is a mythical, historical fantasy series. At first, when I looked at this book, I was like, this book better be about like actual mermaids. Like, I don't want this to just be the name of a girl group or something, but no, there are talk and lore of mermaids in here. I actually am not finished yet, so we haven't gotten to like the reveal, but I'm pretty sure they're mermaids. Okay, close enough. It's 2 timelines, so you switch back and forth between like the 2000s. Actually, it's 3. You switch back and forth between the 90s, 2019, and 1800s, and it tells the story of like 2 sets of sisters. I don't think it's a thriller, but it is very mystical and a mystery. So you're trying to figure out why all of these deaths to just men happened in this small fishing town. I think we can maybe gather what happened, but it kind of like takes you through the journey of these sisters discovering themselves. One of them's trying to figure out how she's connected to this town, why she's different than everyone else at school, and I think it's also considered like a feminist novel, so it's very female heavy. I don't know if there's like one good male character in here. Like, it's very female focused. So if you're in the mood for that, this is a really fun summer read. And look at this cover. Like, again, I bought this book because of the cover, but it's actually turning good. In my August reset, or no, in my September reset, I will give my final rating on this one. And then I started this a few nights ago. I'm only like 1/4 of the way through this book, but I'm really enjoying it so far. Every Summer After is my favorite book from her, but this one, I've heard that there's actually ties to Every Summer After, but it's been a few years since I read it, so I need to refresh myself there. I love the initial plot of this where the main girl, Alice, goes to the lake. All of her books are kind of set on the lake. She's a photographer. She needs a break from work. She goes to the lake with her grandmother. Very, very cute. It's kind of like Boy Next Door romance vibes. That is what I've been reading this summer whenever I have some free time, and that is going to bring us to the end of this reset video. I'm so happy to bring them back. I've really missed doing this. I know I only skipped 1 month, but I really missed it, so I'm so happy to bring it back. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment below a goal you guys have for August. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your summer, and I will talk to you all in my next video.